Nick, it's not rocket science to tell you that quarterback is the most important position on the field. And with the college football transfer portal wide open, this might be the most important season for the portal for quarterbacks because there are so many. Here are five you need to know, including the first one right here, Sam Leavitt from Arizona State. Wow, this is a guy that really is a true impact player right off the bat. Brought Arizona State from literally the bottom all the way up in 2024. They were predicted to be last in the Big 12. They win the Big 12 championship just last year against Iowa State, and they were just a play away from making it another game inside the college football playoffs against Texas. It was an insane game. This is a guy 6'2", 205 that has what it takes to make that next step and have a team immediately be a college football playoff contender from jump one.
Yeah, Sam Leavitt is a gamer. I mean, he had an unbelievable year in 2024, 2,800 yards, 24-6 touchdown to interception ratio. He's added 443 rushing yards and 5 touchdowns on the ground as well. Battled a little bit of injury this last year, okay? So the stats might not be there, and Arizona State obviously didn't see the same success this year. But what Arizona State was 2 years ago, it wasn't just Kenny Dillingham. Sam Leavitt had a big piece in that, obviously had some weapons to throw to like Jordan Tyson, but they didn't play. Jordan Tyson did not play every single game. So keep an eye out for Sam Leavitt. Wherever he goes, that team will definitely be in contention for their conference next season.
Yeah, rumors are potentially him going to Kentucky, which is wild to me, and we'll see if that's the right fit for him. Obviously, I feel like there's going to be a couple other suitors as well. This is the Big 12 preseason player of the year. He did undergo foot surgery that made him out for the rest of the season against Arizona State this past season. So we'll see where he can go in this one. But overall, I think Sam Leavitt is one that definitely look out for. While we continue right here on these 5 transfer portal quarterbacks you should know, welcome on in. This is Marv and Rauh in the morning, where we bring you daily sports content every weekday, where we are bringing sports all the time, including this bonus content that you're getting today as well on the weekend. So always bringing you crazy sports stuff, the stuff you need to know right here on Marv and Rauh in the morning. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, bringing you daily sports all the time. Let's get into the next quarterback here, and let's stick kind of with Big 12, because this is a player who I think is going to the Big 12, and that's Drew Messemaker from North Texas. This is a guy that obviously came out of the blue and shined. I mean, this guy throws it insane. I mean, the way that he throws the football is insane. He puts the yards up. He is probably the most highly touted G5 quarterback heading into the transfer portal. I think he's going to Oklahoma State to follow his former coach in Eric Morris, but overall, I think he has a couple suitors that should be going after him.
Yeah, North Texas obviously cracking the top 25 this year, a team that a lot of people became familiar with. Very awesome view from the highway, their facility is. But Drew Messemaker in particular, over 4,000 yards, almost 4,400 passing yards this year, 34 touchdowns to 9 interceptions is incredible, led the college football landscape in passing. This guy is going to make a difference, especially if he does end up at OSU. He's got 3 years of eligibility remaining, which is kind of incredible that you could get a guy that early in his career and make a difference as OSU looks to open this new chapter. I mean, if he doesn't go to OSU, he will make an impact wherever he goes, but that would be a great way for the Cowboys to basically restart in 2026.
Yeah, 26. Yep. The biggest thing that I'd like to see here is what will be his transition against Power 4 defenses. That's obviously the biggest concern when you're talking about G5 quarterbacks making that next step forward, because he fits well, though, in like the air raid system. You wonder if Oklahoma State, if Eric Morris will continue that moving forward. He's very good and on the accuracy with intermediate and deep passing, his ability to extend plays with his legs. This is a quarterback that I think that is going to be on the radar for maybe a top quarterback in the foreseeable future for maybe 2027, 2028 NFL draft if he continues down the same path with Eric Morris. Eric Morris has a very good resume when it comes to cornerbacks. Drew Messemaker just might be the other one on the list here. Moving forward, we got even more. Dylan Raiola, remember that name? Well, he's leaving Nebraska, and maybe he goes to Texas Tech, follows the Mahomes route. Doesn't seem like that's the case. But, man, what a good quarterback he is. I think he's probably the most polarizing quarterback in the transfer portal this year, because some people don't like his skill set. I think he's a competitor. I think he's a fantastic quarterback and will immediately make a team very good.
Yeah, he's definitely polarizing. And I think a lot of it comes down to just the whole Mahomes thing. Like, I think a lot of people get hung up on that and haven't necessarily watched his game. I know I fell into that camp a little bit because I was shocked when I was looking through his stats. He had 2,800 and 2,000 passing yards over the last 2 years. He's improved his touchdown to interception ratio 13-11 to 18-6. But in both of the last 2 years, he's had a net negative rushing yards, which is just surprising to me. And it is nothing against, like, he is a very good football player. He wherever he goes, he'll make an impact. But I think a lot of people get caught up in the Mahomes thing, and they just it's almost a distraction at some
Yeah.
point. So keep that in mind with Raiola. He's still a very, very solid quarterback, though. It's unfortunate. I actually wondered if he would spend his entire time in Nebraska, but hitting the portal, maybe making a little bit of extra money somewhere and improving a team's odds at making a championship.
Yeah, he shows flashes of mobility. He shows flashes of, having an elite arm talent. I think he's just got to put it all together, and hopefully his next stop can be there. There's been rumors about him potentially, of course, joining Texas Tech. There's been rumors
Mhm.
about him potentially being the next Indiana quarterback with Kirk Cignetti. And then, of course, I've heard some rumors about potentially Louisville for Dylan Raiola. If you think there's anybody else that maybe be in the mix, let us know in the comment description below. Dylan
Yeah,
Raiola, I think, is an interesting piece where it could develop into I still think he could develop into a true NFL caliber talent to maybe follow
absolutely.
his good old mentor there and Patrick Mahomes for sure. Want to continue on? Let's talk about more of these transfer portal impacts. Byron Brown is an interesting one out of
Yes.
USF. I think he's so interesting, and the fact of where he might end up and most likely will end up makes it even more interesting. What he did for South Florida last year, kind of putting them on the map, watching him then right from the beginning of the season against Boise State, upsetting them and just kind of putting USF back on the map. Alex Golish and all that stuff. Well, he might continue to follow Alex Golish with the Auburn Tigers. And when you
Mm.
think of past Auburn Tiger quarterbacks and you think of builds like Byron Brown, it hesitates to me to say this, but it really reminds you of potentially a Cam Newton situation here.
That's a wild comparison, but I don't hate it. I don't hate it. USF started the year so hot with that win over obviously Boise State, but then Florida, and exactly what you mentioned with Byron Brown, putting this team on the map absolutely happened. It kind of fell off against, losing to Memphis, losing to Navy, ended up at fourth in the American, but still a very solid year from Byron Brown. Wow, I'll say that 5 times fast. In 2023, he had 3,200 passing yards, and then this last year had 3,100 passing yards. So very solid. Had a down year in 2024, though. I believe his injury. I think it was lower body. Nonetheless, rushed for 1,000 yards this last season, 800. So he's a mobile guy. He can throw the ball well. I will be interested to see if obviously the translation to the Power Four is there. But I think this is a huge name that can make a big splash, even if it's not like your Sam Levitt or Power Four to Power Four move. This is a guy that can come in, and I do think with a year of eligibility remaining can at least make an impact right away.
It's not as wild as you think when I brought up that Cam Newton thing. Let me explain. Cam Newton, 6'5",
Oh,
250. Byron Brown, 6'3", 232. Not too far off. Not too
not
far
too
off at
bad.
all. This is a guy that has
Mm.
strength, that is willing to make contact and fight for extra yards. He has great arm talent. Like, this could put Auburn back on the map, something they've been striving for a very, very long time. Let's finish off with these 5 portal quarterbacks you need to know. And if we missed anybody, if somebody missed this list, if you feel like a quarterback was snubbed, let us know in the comments. We want to hear your thoughts on this one. I'm going to go with another G5 quarterback here who could make an
Okay.
impact right away, who's probably going to make the next jump up to the Power Four. I feel like this is a quarterback that needs to have a lot of people putting eyes on. That's Colton Joseph of Old Dominion. I think what
Mm.
he's done at his time at Ricky Rain, with his time in Norfolk, I think that he really needs a chance at the Power Four level. Talk about mobile quarterbacks. I don't think there's a more mobile quarterback in the entire country than Colton Joseph.
Yeah, he's a 1,000-yard rusher this season. Actually, a great transition here because Old Dominion played USF this bowl
Super
season,
Bowl.
and Old Dominion got a win, and obviously big for you. So that was exciting to watch. But I do wonder if Colton Joseph can be the next guy too. 158 carries, 1,000 yards is incredible, but also 4,200 passing yards in 2 seasons, 32 to 15 touchdown to interception ratio. I believe 2 years of eligibility remaining. The way that this whole thing works right now is kind of a mess, but you don't have to get it in 1 year. That's kind of the bright side here with Colton Joseph is you can bring him in, get a year under the belt, and then in that year develop and look forward to next season. Where do you think he's going to end up? I think this could be a great move for whoever ends up with him. Are there any ties right now?
So far, I haven't seen too much rumors, but what I think would be a perfect fit for him is somewhere maybe up north, like a Wisconsin, or maybe
Yeah.
in the Big
Ooh,
12,
Wisconsin.
like a Deion Sanders in Colorado.
Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, I could see it. I could see it staying up north. I think Wisconsin actually does make a lot of sense, especially with the Big Ten being what it is. And if he's going to use his legs like that, Wisconsin needs a spark, and Colton Joseph absolutely could be that spark. A couple other quarterbacks that we haven't talked about, and obviously, if we missed somebody, name it in the comments below. But we brought this up before the show or for this episode. I wanted to bring him up one more time. Your thoughts on Trinidad Chambliss if he gets his year of eligibility? Could he be the top quarterback in the portal based on what we saw from Georgia? I mean, he's single-handed, like in one drive, in 3 plays, rose his stock to an unbelievable level. I mean, this kid can make plays. Your thoughts on Chambliss?
Yeah, if he got another year of eligibility, I think he would ultimately go to the top of a lot of industry rankings for quarterbacks, but I feel like there wouldn't be much of a movement, right? We'd probably have a guy who would enter the portal if he did enter the portal for do not contact, and it would probably just be him heading on over to Lane Kiffin to LSU. That would be my prediction there. But I do think there's also a chance that even if he does get the other year of eligibility, the way that we've seen him really kind of shine in the NFL, in the college football playoffs, that he could immediately just declare for the NFL draft.
Right. Yeah, there's definitely that too. I just wanted to throw that name out there because we'll see how like things work out if he gets that eligibility. But if he does, and if he doesn't, you're right. He probably could go to the NFL and be drafted relatively high based on what he's done this postseason, obviously in the whole year. But just wanted to bring that up really quick.
Hey, be sure to check us out. Marv and Rauh in the morning, Mondays and Thursdays, 8 and 9 a.m. Eastern. Fridays, we bring it to you 7 to 8 a.m. Eastern, always bringing you daily sports content. Let me know your thoughts about these portal quarterback additions, and if you want one of them on your team, and did we miss any? Let us know in the comment description below, and thanks for watching Marv and Rauh in the morning.